Hi, fire signs. You got the sage burning already. Welcome to Virgo season. Happy Saturn day. Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. I hope all is well. So, with the last reading that I did, if you tapped in, I advised you in real time, as I was advised in real time, that instead of doing all signs, we're going to do by elements, because there's this energy of working together versus separately. I am going to do for each element, I'm going to cover each element individually. But after I do a collective reading for the element, I will pull a card for each individual sign. So for fire signs, we'll do a fire sign collective reading, and then after that's finished, we'll pull a card for Aries, Leo, and Sag, and then move on. The internet connection has been spotty. I don't know why I said it like that. Harry Potter is coming up. Libra energy is coming up. Balance, justice. All right, let us pray. Hold on. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something before we pray. Hold on. We're good. We're gonna ring the bell. Oh, also, before we get into this prayer and get started, I'm being challenged as well. We're not using any tarot cards. We are using all oracle cards, so it is what it is. It's a part of the growth. It's a part of the evolution. All right, I'm about to ring the bell, and then we'll pray. God, divine source, angels, ancestors, guides, universe, thank you for allowing me to guide the fire elements, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, on this Regulus gateway activation portal, as well as the Virgo New Moon. Thank you for allowing me to be a clear guide, clear channel, and clear vessel as I speak to them on what to expect. As this energy unfolds, God, please bless each and every heart and soul that taps into this energy with me whenever they are guided to do so. Allow us all to be divinely guided and divinely led. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Gratitude, Ashe. So it kind of makes sense that, actually, let me start the timestamp. All right, so collectively, it makes sense that we're using Oracle versus Tarot, because Tarot can relate to significant changes that are happening in our everyday lives, or just what's going on in our everyday life, versus the Oracle energy. It speaks on what is to come, and with some of this energy, it may be present for you right now, or it may be in the becoming of something. But with the Regulus Gateway, I have some notes because I just learned about this portal myself this year, within the last month specifically. And this Regulus energy, it's long lasting until the next Regulus Gateway of 2026, and so on and so forth. So it's like a 12-month cycle, and there's 12 houses within the zodiac as well. And this Virgo New Moon is significant because we also have a Virgo New Moon in September, but the Virgo New Moon in September begins eclipse season, I believe. But I'm getting into the September readings next week, so we'll dive deeper into that next week. But my notes on Regulus, so the energy peaked yesterday, August 22nd, but based on my research, it's a 3-day portal. It began on the 21st of August. It ends today. Like the peak of it ends today on the 23rd, which is also happy Virgo New Moon. The energy of the Virgo New Moon, which has already peaked. We're in the energy as we speak. So the Regulus Gateway, it's known as the Royal Star Gateway. It's one of 4 royal stars of ancient astrology. It represents royal consciousness. It's the brightest star in the Leo constellation. It also relates to crown chakra activation and a higher self activation. It's known as the heart of the lion. It represents courage, your purpose, and generosity, which is again why we're working together versus separately. And it influences a spiritual awakening for the collective as well as the individual. All right. All right. Now let's get into these cards. All right. Fire sign collective, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We're going to start with the energy of the Regulus gateway. Since it's known as the heart of the lion, we're going to use the heart oracle deck. So the fire element. Communication is being highlighted. That was the listen card, which represents the high priestess, but it slid back in the deck. You have sadness and isolation, third eye chakra, 3-6. And then you have clarity of belief, 1 in reverse. So this is the energy, this Regulus gateway portal specifically is shifting your perspective of, make sure I say this right, believing it with the third eye to see it, clarity of belief in reverse versus seeing it to believe it. With sadness and isolation, a lot of you have been in, I hear Krabby Patty, but more so in this shell of protection. And so this energy, it feels like it's thrusting you out of that shell of protection. It's like, you know, whether you are, no matter what fire sign you are, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, again, this is the heart of the lion energy. So that courage to really put yourself out there, explore the unknown when you have no expectation. Exploring the unknown without having an expectation of the outcome of the exploration. It's like initiating the journey, but not knowing where the journey will end, but knowing that it's like it's the right thing to do. And if this card was upright, it would be showing the energy of just flowing. You know, it feels like I should go in this direction. My heart is being led in this direction. It's the right thing to do, but it's in reverse. Sadness and isolation. And so as a personal lesson for me, because I realized like I love to interact with people, but I'm extremely introverted. Like I've just came to that realization for myself. And it's like, you know, I'll make these plans to be outside and then I'll make the decision to stay inside. I'll make the decision to isolate. So I've been doing my own personal, as a fire sign, I have heavy fire energy in my chart. But I've been doing my own personal shadow work with, you know, being inside versus outside and my comfort levels with that. And when I think just on the journey of my life, like there really is no reason for me to be afraid, like not at all. But at the same time, it's like, you know, when you have shit to lose, because I've never been I've been in positions where I've had shit to lose, but the gravity of that hasn't been as heavy as the gravity of it is now. And so I move with more caution, and with me moving more cautious, it creates an energy of stagnation, isolation, and sadness, okay? Because I love to connect, but at the same time, I'm good with myself. But tying this back into you, with the third eye chakra being the center of this energy, your vision is true. Your vision is bright. Your vision is possible. And I don't believe that if you have a specific vision, it is too astronomical for you to achieve. Like, I don't think it's rocket science, but we're in the age of Aquarius. So whatever vision and dream that you have, in order to achieve that, hey! Sorry. In order to achieve that, yeah, don't do that shit in the trees. Damn, that threw me off. There needs to be movement without an expectation of a specific result. Now, with this third eye as well, I do feel like when it comes to what you see for yourself, what you see for your legacy, what you see for your lineage, what you just see for yourself, it's kind of like, you know, you may take the action to achieve, but life meets you with rejection. That's the best way that I can put it with this sadness and isolation. It's like you're amazing at what you do currently, but there's so much more potential that is just lying dormant within you. And it's kind of like, you know, it's the dormancy is wanting to crack open. Again, step out of this energy, crack open. But it's like, you know, the more that you open your hands out to receive and say yes, the more that you set out to achieve, the more that your beliefs are, or not even the beliefs, the more that your vision is, I'm getting dispelled by society, if that makes sense. And so it's like where you are meant to put in the work to become stronger, where you're meant to put in the work to master your weaknesses. It's like your weaknesses are being strengthened versus your strength being strengthened. I hope that makes sense. And then right underneath that, you see how this heart is trying to crack open, and it's surrounded by all of this energy. It's wanting to give, it's wanting to receive, but it's like what's being met with in actuality is just the opposite of that. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna pull one more for each one. Yeah, balance. I also feel like there's this battle of struggling of when to give, like how to give, when to give, and who to receive from. Not just the art of receiving, it's who you receive from. It's like shit that you get involved in that you feel like should nurture and love you ends up, it's like breaking you down every single time. But Spirit is like, but keep going. And you're like, but I don't like how this feels. And Spirit is like, but I gave you the visions to keep going. I hope that makes sense. So if I were to, the sadness and isolation and clarity of belief, we started this with communication, and these blue cards are representing the throat chakra, communication. Healing begins. But it's like communicating from a place of pain versus a place of vision. Or it's like, you know, your vision is so attached to pain that could be a disconnect that you're experiencing within yourself when it comes to achieving your goals. Baby, I'm just speaking. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just flowing with the words. So I really do hope this is making sense. But can you clarify sadness and isolation for the fire element, please? Blossom. Beautiful. And the third chakra would be your solar plexus. And then we have this blossom energy. So hold that thought. Third eye chakra for the fire element. And clarity of belief, please. Thank you. You know, we always hear, and it's a belief that I have, patience is a virtue. It really, really is. And with fire, fire moves fast, right? Which is why a fire can start small and then spread like a wildfire. And that could be emphasized based on your emotional response, okay? Your clarifying cards are interesting. We'll start with the third eye chakra. So going back to what I mentioned about knowing who to give to and like who to receive from, you have giving and receiving that came out in reverse to clarify the third eye chakra. Clarifying clarity of belief in reverse is the heart chakra. Again, we're discussing Regulus energy right now, the heart of the lion, and then clarifying sadness and isolation. Again, you have blossom, but also I'm going to just ignore the birds for now. You have refusing to see. Refusing to see is giving refusing to believe. it's like allowing the vision, right, the third eye, to, it's like instead of it being an energy of like an embalmment okay, the word I'm trying to say is embalment, embalmment. Like, you know, there's a balm in Gilead, but embalments, like this blossom embalmment. Anywho, of like excitement, of revitalization, of courage, of energy for you to, you know, get into it. But it's like when the vision of what's possible, like possible in an energy of your heart chakra is literally as light as a feather. It's like you see that as another challenge to overcome with refusing to see, and that is creating a disconnect with your vision. I hope that makes sense. And so it's like instead of trusting in what God shows you, what your spirit team shows you, even what the universe shows you in your everyday life of love, of hope, of possibility, of an energy, an even energy exchange, you end up, you know, on a human level, match that energy with rejection. Sadness and isolation does intertwine with rejection, whether rejecting yourself, because we always focus on how other people reject us, but we never focus on how we reject ourselves, okay? How we reject our dreams, how we reject our heart, how we reject our vision. And that ties into, you know, speaking negativity on life itself, your life. That's why I always say the tongue is a representation of life and death, and you can create that for yourself, even with that energy of I'm good on my own. A lesson I am actively learning and been learning. Yes, I am good on my own, okay? And when I say I'm on my own, I'm not alone. Like, my spirit team is heavy, respectfully, right? But when it comes to human interaction, like, I be missing that sometimes. I really, really do. And then it's like instead of me going, again, tying back to what I said originally, putting myself out there, I choose to remain in my comfort zone. And my comfort zone is becoming a stagnation towards my growth and towards my elevation and towards my vision, because my vision involves the collective. So if I'm not interacting with the collective, how the fuck am I assisting my vision to come to fruition? I'm in my own way. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Hey, hi. Which one leads to a heavy heart? Which one leads to a lighter heart? The goal is for the heart to become as light as a feather. And when it comes to giving and receiving energy exchanges, it happens on all levels, but it always starts with ourselves. But on a human level, we are conditioned to believe it starts with other people. And that, I feel like, is a part of the root to a lot of issues that you could be having when it comes to just crossing over to that other side of blossom energy for you. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. But it's okay. I do feel like this is a journey that you are going on over throughout the next 12 months. Yeah, opportunity begins. It's definitely a journey that's beginning, and it's a journey that you are worthy of receiving. And for a lot of you, it's like, you know, you may not feel worthy, but God says you're worthy. And until you're able to match that worthiness with spirit, with the Most High, you will be at a standstill. It's an energy exchange, okay? Because if you don't feel the worthiness within yourself, once it's given to you, you won't appreciate it. You won't acknowledge it. You won't take heed to it. You won't nurture it. You won't care for it. You won't put your heart into it. Yeah. Yes, you need to detach. You're being asked and guided to detach from something. For a lot of you, it's people pleasing. Yeah. For some of you, it's family. Like I had to tell my sister the other day, honey, I have to go on a year break, okay? Yeah, y'all will not see me for a year. At least I'm not actively pulling up, okay? Because I have to take care of me. I cannot financially build if I'm always financially giving, you know, and it's for a righteous cause, it's for the right reasons. But at the same time, when I reflect on how my actions are negatively affecting me, it's not bringing me the happiness. It has me a bit more stressed, okay, a bit more isolated, a bit more in my head. And for me, the age that I am, honey, if it starts to stress me, it needs to be released, okay? And if it's meant for me to re-engage, then that time will come. But honey, peace cannot be bought, okay? Peace is literally created. But in order to maintain that, you have to trust the process. And trusting the process is taking that journey and not knowing where you'll end up, but being okay with that. That's a representation of faith. And faith is truly, if what you have control of is ensuring that your actions, the way that you speak, the way that you think, the highlight is the best outcome, not the worst outcome, not the same old shit, just a different day. That's a mentality and a statement that a lot of us need to get out of collectively. And a lot of times, yes, awaiting results, same old shit, just a different day. We say that, and literally that becomes our lives. We wake up, do the same fucking shit every day, take the same vacations, same fucking time of year, every time. I just hear enough is enough, and we're in the year of the snake, so that energy has to shed. We are all in the energy of a rebirth, okay? Okay, anything else? Balance is still on the bottom. 14, Sagittarius energy, but, you know, temperance. We have 15, Master. See how the heart is in a cage? And then on the bottom, we have dreams coming true. So 15 breaks down to 6. Dreams coming true is 9. 6, 9. So I feel like this is giving like your destiny is literally in the palm of your hands, but metaphorically speaking, right? Meaning just you have control over your destiny, okay? You have control on whether you, honey, choose to make this your last lifetime here or reincarnate. That's where free will comes into play. But with Master, I feel like this gateway, when it comes to, again, matters of the heart of the lion, where, at what moment did you say it was okay to put your own heart, and this could be literally your love, your ambition, your dreams, your goals, to the side in a box? September 15th could be a significant date too, for some of you with this 9/15 here. But there's a need to go back to a moment in time, because you started with 3, and what clarified your 3 card, what the 2, so there's a need to go back. For some of you, you need to go back to 2022, but no, that's not the point. The point is there's a need to go back to when you said that I'm getting it was okay to be restricted, or you just chose restriction. I don't know. I don't know what this is for you personally. For some of you, it's abstinence. Like if you've been on an abstinent journey, I'm bringing this up because I started mine in 2022. Okay, we're in 2025, but why? It's like why, you know? But it's like that reason of why. I feel like it's already been accomplished. Like whatever you restricted to accomplish has been accomplished, but you don't even realize. There's this realization, again, refusing to see that your third eye has been showing you, but it's like your mind is refusing to accept it, for you to have the breakthrough to the other side. Like these are 2 different energies, 2 different frequencies. I feel like a lot of you fire signs are in this, okay? Very restrictive, very cold, very strict, very my way or the highway type shit, right? But what's on the other side is dreams coming true. It's in your control. It's literally, your destiny is in your hands. I don't know. I feel like a lot of you are saying things need to be done the right way, but who taught you what the right way was? And based on the right way that was taught, is that person happy? Are they fulfilled? Are they achieving their dreams? It's like reflect on who you've been guided by versus the reflection of your heart's desires. Like, does that match? Is that aligned? And with me splitting the deck to move in reverse, 7 in reverse, crown chakra, it's not. It's like holding on to false teachings, false truths, but claiming that as your own and not even realizing that that's a block. I don't know. We're going to move on, though, to the Virgo New Moon energy. Okay. Virgo New Moon. Ooh, Nana Baruku essence. Ancestors. She's the mother of all, well, she's known as the mother of all ancestors. So this Virgo New Moon energy, really, this is now until the next Virgo New Moon next month that begins eclipse season. I do feel like your ancestors... It's a hummingbird! The ancestors, baby. Oh, I caught that right on time. That was beautiful. Hi, soul. This made me so happy. That should just... My frequency went up. But no, you see how the sun is shining in the back of her? Her feast day is also on my birthday, but that's not the point either. But it says essence. I do feel like your ancestors are very, very active at this time. For some of you, some of your elders could be transitioning to becoming ancestors of yours as well. That could be a trigger to some of you. Yeah, I just split the deck to family. But it could not be true for all of you. But we are in a 9-year, and the seasons, we're in the year of the snake. So it's a lot. The timing is aligned. Okay, it really is. But that's neither here nor there. Outside of that energy, I do feel like there's something. It feels like a calling you're being asked to step into at this time. And I do feel like this is being highlighted from now until July of next year. Yes, because the phone. July of next year, the nodes shift out of Virgo and Pisces into Leo and Aquarius, which I believe is on my birthday next year too. I have to fact check, but we're in 2025 right now. But yeah. Yeah, it feels like a calling you're being, it feels like an initiation. The calling is more so an initiation. But it's something, I do feel like this is more so gifts being passed down from your ancestors. I do feel like your family as well, you're starting to remind them of someone that has passed on. And I do feel like this is being highlighted. I don't know why that shit just made me hella emotional. But yeah, I feel like this is being highlighted to you between now and July of next year. Okay, what else? Virgo New Moon for the fire elements, Aries, Leo, Sag. You have solitude and solitude in reverse, baby. You got to get outside, all of you. And outside, like out of your comfort zone, okay? Baby, if you're always in the club, okay, you need to get outside with I hear the yoga groups in nature. I don't know. The dove is on the balcony right now, too. We have the dove, the cardinals. We have, and the finches. Baby, and some more finches just came. It's about 12 of them right now. But let them go off, okay? So the Virgo New Moon, Nana Bruku, essence, solitude in reverse. You got to get outside, but getting outside in your comfort zone, this is more so following your dreams, okay? your dreams. The sun is the happiest card in the tarot deck, and we're not using any tarot, so I am completely out of my comfort zone in this reading because I love to use the tarot to clarify, okay? But we're using oracle and clarifying with oracle, and I'm a flow, okay? And then you have the key. Libra has, and we mentioned Libra at the beginning, but Libra has a reading called You Are the Key Master. I'll share that on the community tab when this is over. And then on the bottom you have Legacy, Conjuring Legacy. So for some of you though too, between now and July, I don't know what you're birthing. It could be a human, it could be a legacy of your own, but something is definitely generational. Karma. I do, and you see how all of these keys are outside? Like, you baby, go outside. Baby, your tribe is already outside, okay? Kumbayaing in the woods. Higher perception. Family, I don't know, but whatever you need is outside, okay? You know what's interesting? You know, winter is a time for all of us to be inside, but freedom, I feel like winter, you're very active. And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of you are planning to hibernate, but no, animal energy channel, you have walking meditation in reverse. You are not trying to be outside. This is funny to me. It's so funny. What's the point of outside of getting outside? Okay, there's legacy here. We have ancestors. We have transition. We have initiation. We have opportunities. Also, a lot of you may already know of this, but I feel like a lot of you are being called to do grid work at this time, which to do grid work, you have to go outside to do that, okay? And I feel like a lot of this grid work is healing the earth. Like, for going back to dreams coming true in the hands, like a lot of you have healing hands, like you really, really do. And so, you know, you could, it's like your hug could really be a healing energy. Your fucking touch could really be a healing energy. Whatever it is that you do, but I feel like you're being asked to put that energy back into the earth as well, because yes, as humans, we're in the year of the snake. The earth is in the year of the snake as well. So the earth is shedding. I don't know why this shit is making me fucking emotional, but the earth is also healing. So there's a need, and I feel like this is connected to your ancestry, especially if you have an indigenous background. Okay, baby, get into the land. Okay, I don't know, but yeah, that part. Anything else? Conjuring Legacy came out for you, and then you have Thribriety Tolerance. So I feel like you are at an energy of self-destructing in some way, in solitude, in lack of communication, lack of self-expression. Communication, this is all coming from her tongue, her mouth, okay? Now, Thribriety Tolerance, it is representing a sobering type of energy. This could be fasting, detoxing, but I do feel like this is really focused on the head, okay? Some of y'all, you need to go to the ear, neck and throat, the ENT, okay? You need a good release. I don't know, some bones cracked, some muscles massaged. But no, the crown, like the crown is being highlighted at this time. And it's like where you are being asked to hold and wear the crown, you are, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, okay? Respectfully, I really don't. But your spirit team is asking you to get it together. And this Virgo New Moon, you could really, yes, Virgo is the 6th house, you know, everyday routine. dotting your I's, crossing your T's, making sure shit gets done. And so it's like where you feel like you could just feel energetically like it's time. And that time is a representation of this legacy energy and your ancestors and the keys and doors that you are being asked to open for yourself. Like, I don't know, you could be asking spirit for a lot that you have control over. And I said this recently as well in another all sign, but you have more power than you realize. And I feel like your ancestors are showing you this again with the sun being in the background. It's like whatever doubt you have or whatever, it's like the energy of biting your own tongue, okay? Literally. But you're very resistant to something that you should push forward with. And again, whatever this is, you've been met with rejection, doubt, disappointments, a lack of love, a lack of support. Like something has not hit the mark, which is why your energy is just, it's like, I'm good on that. But Spirit's like, we need you to not be good on that because of this energy right here. Like you have a purpose to fulfill. And it's like you're playing with your purpose. Anything else? How long we've been here? I don't know how long this was going to be. Yeah, so nurture, it's like, Aquarius has a reading, and for every fire sign, your opposite is an air sign. So, or your sister sign, whatever you refer to it as, opposite, sister sign, same damn thing, is an air sign. So for Leo, it's Aquarius. For Sagittarius, it's Gemini. And for Aries, it's Libra, air energy. And it's interesting because yesterday I started listening to the old Future, like when Future came, astronaut status, okay, Pluto shit. And I don't have any of the old Future on my playlist, but I was just, it's time for some new music, you know, it's time to expand. And so I went back to the old Future, right? And then one of the songs, okay, it's I'm gonna spell it out, okay? And it started like replaying in my mind. I played it on the playlist and then I started thinking about what the lyrics were saying, and I exited out of it, but it's been in my mind. But it's HOMICIDE. So I'm like, why the fuck is this replaying in my psyche? Like, what you trying to tell me, right? But I started, like, my mind shifted from asking the question to third eye crown chakra energy, just using my own energy to, again, we're in the 9th year and we're in the year of the snake. So some shit, like, we have to kill off. We have to cut the head off the snake in regards to some shit, okay? And again, I don't feel like this has anything to do with other people. This could be how we're thinking, how we are perceiving, how we are speaking, how we are just utilizing our time, the 24 hours in a day on a day-to-day basis, because real shit, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we utilize that energy really does make a difference. My 6 months compared to your 6 months, depending on discipline and diligence and following through, can look completely different. And then 6 times 2, 12, you know? And I think it takes 90 days to break a bad habit, personally. I don't know about the 21-day shit, okay? But 90, 369, for me, it's a 90 days. So when you 180 days, when you're doubling that energy, it's, your destiny is in your hands, okay? So this is all about you, okay? And I feel like anything that is a distraction of you, whether this is partner, whether this is job, like whatever is taking away from you, nurturing and taking care of you and your dream and your legacy and your purpose and your fucking courage and generosity and heart chakra and everything else that the fucking Regulus gateway portal represents, as well as this Virgo New Moon, because Virgo is the only human sign, and a lot of us are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we get so tapped into the fucking spiritual that we neglect the human experience. And there's a need, like you had the card balance, to bring that energy back into balance, nurture that. So anything that is a distraction or in the way of that will either be removed indefinitely, or it will fall to the wayside, and there will be a disruption to bring you back to center. Okay, because truly, in order for us to take care of others, we have to take care of ourselves. And that's something that we say every day, and 9 times out of 10, the person that's advising that does not know how to do that properly, respectfully. Okay. Okay. All right, let's pull a card for each one, each sign. We'll start with Aries. Ooh, abundance. All right, Regulus Gateway and Virgo New Moon for Aries placements. What do you have to say to them specifically? There's something, you need to purge something. It's something about scent. I don't know. You could, please don't take this the wrong way, okay? But you know how like dogs pick up on scent? Like I feel like like a scent to like dogs or just animals in general is like a representation of energy too. But there's something that you are holding on to that it's like, oh, my nose is itching. It's like an energetic poison. It's honey, I'm getting, it's deeper than a parasite, okay? But anywho, yeah. Yeah, there's something, it's something that needs to be released. Also, if you are a feminine Aries placements, and maybe this is about to be a TMI for the fellas, but we all grown. If you wear tampons, you're being asked to not do that. I don't know, this is just giving me tampon energy too, even though that's a whole amethyst. You have success, but wonders also represents miracles. Let me bring it positive. You have wonders here, success. The Panther is your spirit guide at this time, or between now and July of 2026. I see taking risk. Anything else for Aries? Wonders, success, wisdom, and new beginnings on the bottom. You're very gifted, very wise. Life has taught you a lot. A lot of you have a PhD in life. There's a lot, I feel like for a lot of you, there is wisdom that you share and there is wisdom that you withhold. And whether you're masculine or feminine, you know, that's honorary because it is a representation of protecting. It's like the high priest versus the high priestess, and you know, not everything is meant to be shared, and using your wisdom on what should be expressed and what should not. Again, it's honorary, it's honorable. But I do feel like you're being asked to, this Panther is giving shake the room for me. It's definitely giving Pop Smoke shake the room. It's time to, like, I'm seeing, they're showing me your energy as an earthquake, and how it's like, you know, you're like what, shifting tectonic plates. Y'all, some of y'all must really be into science and shit like that. I don't know, but no, literally, I'm just saying, yeah, shifting tectonic plates, but like groundbreaking. That's what I'm literally seeing, the groundbreaking, okay? Which is a representation of this wonders and this breakthrough, groundbreaking, okay? But it's something within the mind. Could be a groundbreaking idea, something that is successful. It takes time for the forest to flourish like this, right? And it could be something that is seasonal as well, because you know, certain times of the seasons the forest is flourished, but then again you have certain trees and certain parts of nature that stand 10 toes the same way and don't shed all year round, okay? Like pine trees, but then again they shed the pine. So there's a release either way. With wisdom, I do feel like there is a lot of emotional maturity that is taking place for you. If you feel like you're already at an emotional mature place at this time, I feel like you are teaching that to others. Okay, teaching your whatever the fuck, your technique, you're giving back. That's what it is. You're giving back. With new beginnings, this is giving like new beginning on the horizon with just how this card is. And it's on the bottom of the deck. It didn't come out. But I do feel like you're the first house, right? And as I've been saying, you got a lot of shit a lot of major planets in your house at this time. As we move into September, there's a lot of shifts. So the pressure is going to lighten. But it does feel like a lot of, because just you representing the first house, whether it's your first house or not. And even though you're known as the baby of the zodiac, which I challenge that from time to time, me personally, but it's a newness with new beginnings that you're bringing to the surface that is going to bring you a lot of success. But I feel like a lot of your success comes from your wisdom. It comes from your experiences. It comes from you being relatable, you being able to understand, you being able to meet eye to eye. And it's interesting because we have to be careful on which levels we stoop to meet people where they are. But it's interesting because, we say that to people, right? But then if you reflect on the story of Yeshua, Jesus, right? Jesus, he didn't fucking discriminate against who he healed, who he connected with, who he uplifted, spoke life into, whatever the case may be. There was no discrimination towards that. And he was able to be his authentic self from the story that we know. No matter the circumstances, no matter the surroundings. So it's like bringing that newness of, it just feels like wholeness versus separation, connection versus discrimination. I don't know. But that energy creates a ripple effect in life. It's like each one teach one, heavy wisdom. But I do feel like your wisdom is being definitely sought upon, called on. And you're definitely being activated. I don't know. I do feel like your gifts are enhancing, growing. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I hear the Tartarians. I don't know what the Tartarians are. I feel like I should, but I really don't know. Like, I haven't done my research to know, but I'm aware. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me look it up real quick. And then I'm going to move on to Leo. How do you spell it? Tartarian. Let me sound it out. Oh, that's not how you spell it. What? The Tartarian Empire. What the hell? How Donald Trump became the Tart. What is the Tartarian? Hold on. Tartarian most commonly refers to the people or culture of the historical region of Tartary in Central and Northern Asia, or the Tartars, who were various Turkic and Mongolian peoples. The term is also given rise to a modern conspiracy theory about a lost, why can I not speak? A lost what the fuck? Words. Okay. The term is also given rise to a modern conspiracy theory about a lost technologically advanced Tartarian empire and supposedly vanished. Oh. Additionally, Tartarian can describe certain plants such as a Tartarian honeysuckle or a Tartarian buckwheat. I want to go to the Tartarian Empire. Hold on. No, so this is interesting. So I know this is individual, but going back to the collective, the third eye, okay? Seeing it, believing it to see it versus seeing it to believe it. So this shit says, the Tartarian Empire is a widely debunked conspiracy theory with no basis in historical fact. So people could be, you could be challenged, okay? People could be challenging you, challenging what you speak, what you think, I don't know. But it's like where you are challenged, Spirit affirms with the success. I just looked down at the success card. But hold on. Central Asia to Siberia, erased from history, an advanced civilization deliberately hidden by conspiracy of governments and historians. A catastrophic mud flood wiped out the empire. Stolen architecture, fabricated world fairs. That's interesting. I don't know. You could be debunking a conspiracy, Aries. I don't know. But I'm going to move on to Leo. Love you. Leo, let's see. What are we doing? Regulus, Gateway, Portal, and the Virgo New Moon for Leo. That fell directly on my sacral chakra. I can't see what it is though. But I'm not gonna pick it up yet. Hi Tanny. I'm happy it makes sense, soul. Sometimes what we don't like be the best shit for us. Sometimes you have to use your discernment. You know, it's like, you know, holistic healing, okay? Baby, the supplements I be taking, nasty as fuck, okay? But it's healing my body. It's keeping me healthy. So that's why I say discernment. Ooh, purity, new beginnings. Leo, what's the song? Oh, my nose is itching. It's Kurt Franklin. He washed them whiter than snow. That song. White as snow. That's what it's giving. This is this a white wolf? Look into the white wolf. Opportunity and stillness in reverse. Okay, so Leo, baby, going outside was very loud for you. Okay, for me too. I received the message. But there's a lot of nighttime energy here. I don't know if you're creating at night, if you're active. I don't know what's going down when the sun goes down, right? But time is about to change and we're about to shift seasons. So it's about to get darker earlier. So when the sun, we've been talking about sunset, sunrise energy for the longest. But I do feel like you're in this energy of purification. I do feel like you are in the energy of preparation. It's definitely giving preparation meets opportunity. But the energy, the preparation for the nodes to shift in your sign and your opposite next year in July. But again, purity, opportunity, stillness in reverse. You're fixed energy. So if you are not flowing with change, you are, it's like creating your own missed opportunities. But in this, yeah, it's definitely giving white wolf energy. And this wolf's eyes, there's one eye that's blue, one eye that's green, okay? There's something about, I don't know, some of you can have a very, it's your throat chakra, it's something about your voice. I feel like a lot of you carry siren energy without even knowing it. But that is a representation of the sun. Truth came out when I said that though. But there's something about your voice. I feel like you're creating, opportunity is giving, it's giving like speak it and so shall it be. But that's giving you a lot of power though. Oh, my nose is itching. But then you see how, you see this, his face in the background? It's like you can call in the storm, you can also call in the peace. Speak it and so shall it be. Yeah, flow, enlightenment. All right. But going back to the song, that white as snow energy, it does feel like you're being given a clean slate. This opportunity is given, you're being given a clean slate by spirit. It's given like you have been forgiven for all of your sins. So now that you have a new opportunity or a second chance at something, what are you going to do with that energy? Now, when it comes to truth, I do feel like there's just a lot being exposed to you. I feel like this exposure began when Mercury was in Leo, with that Mercury retrograde. But it feels like exposure of, it's connected to full circle moments, because we are in a 9-year. And as we move into 2026, which is a 10 years simplified to 1, because 9 is a combination, so 9 represents full circles, so it's already started to happen, but it's not going to stop. Okay. I just hear, I'm getting, it's going to continue to carry on for the time being, because you need to know what needs to be washed away, so that whatever new opportunity, new beginning that God is giving you, that Spirit is giving you, it can stay clean. I don't know what that's about, but it's giving cleanliness versus uncleanliness, godliness versus ungodliness, like type of energy. And with these two eyes being two different colors, it is a one versus the other, the light versus the dark. And for a lot of you, be mindful of the people that show up as sheep's and wolf's clothing. That's coming up for you as well. Because the more that I look at this animal, the more that it's giving like they're just waiting for blood to spill, right? But then like waiting for blood to spill in order to attack, with that wolf and sheep's clothing energy. But also it's giving me what's his name in Twilight, and just how protective he was. So when it comes to new opportunities, especially, you could just, that song, every time I try to leave, something keeps, I hear watching my back. I know that's not the lyrics, but I'm hearing it as watching my back, like always looking over your shoulder. Okay, I don't know, you didn't have some life experiences if you move like that, trust me, I know. But you see how this moon is resting in peace? It's like if someone were to attempt to bring the storm to you, they will be met by, they will be met by a truth from spirit, from your spirit team. Whether it's God or whether it's your ancestors, but all is well. Whatever you're worried about, just release that, okay? I'm getting like leave it in the cold. Like allow that energy of worry to freeze. Allow that energy of worry to dry out. Allow that energy of worry to be fucking buried and blanketed in life, you know? Or paranoia or whatever it is. Lack, I don't know. Communication, judgment. Who takes advantage or what takes advantage of your heart? Who is secretly, you know, I don't know. I just feel like people have there's a lot of secret agendas around you. But I feel like you're being asked to not focus on other people's agendas in regards to you, and focus on yourself. And the more that you focus on yourself, the more that it's like when you just start starve the attention. Starve the attention and pay attention to the reactions. That's the advice, okay? I love you. No, I'm dead ass though. You're really being asked to starve attention in regards to something. Okay, I'm gonna move on to last but not least, Sag. Okay, so we here about an hour. That's not bad. I've been rapping, so that's not bad. Hold on, which deck are we using? Oh. Sagittarius. Ooh, blessings. Regulus, Gateway, and Virgo New Moon. What do you have to say to Sag? Specifically at this time. That fell on top of my amethyst. Focus is in reverse. It's giving you're not taking something seriously. Happiness is peeking out in reverse. Sagittarius, no. Your boundaries, something about your boundaries. Feels like people are matching energy. Okay, Sagittarius. Focus is in reverse. Enlightenment is in reverse. What the hell? Stillness is in reverse on the bottom. You have openness and abundance. You have 4. You're not seeing something clearly. It's giving one-track mindset with something. This could be in regards to abundance. It doesn't always have to do with money, okay? It could be an abundance of love, an abundance of... it could be money, an abundance of freedom, an abundance of empowerment, an abundance of joy, an abundance of happiness. Like, it doesn't have to be simplified to one specific thing. Abundance of support. Feels like so we started with Aries being in the energy of a teacher, and we're ending with you being in the energy of a student. But it's not, how do I say this? It's like you're the student in convenience. That's not funny, but it is. It's like, yeah, you're the student when it's convenient for you. But when it's time to be, it's like when it's truly time for the trials and the tribulations. And I feel like, because I feel like this is more so for feminine energy specifically, because as I say this, I'm seeing masculine energy look at me like, hold on, what you talking about? But just listen, okay? When it comes to the test and the trials and the tribulations of when God says it's time, you don't assume the position of student. It's like you try to assume the position of being the wizard. But there's levels to this. And when I say that there's levels to this, it's like showing me like when you are certified in something, but yet, times change, things evolve. So you have to recertify, you have to make sure that you're still in your A game despite what you already know. So it's like when it's time for you to either master something new or recertify something, the way that you handle the energy, it's just you resist. Now, when it comes to masculine energy, right? I feel like you're being called to be more open, to attract more abundance. A lot of you are very judgmental too, especially if you're a masculine Sag. I can feel the energy of judgment, like as I say, judgmental. even with just how that vision came as I was speaking that message. Like, there's this energy of judgment. It's like the harsher you judge, the harsher God judges you. So there's a reflection, like this openness and abundance is giving me, where is your grace? Where is the barrier broken for you to release judgment? And this could be connecting to feminine fucking Sagittarius placements that operate within their masculine energy dominantly, whether by choice or by force. And when I say force, life circumstances is what I mean in correlation to that. The theme for the collective and for each individual, despite what your purpose is, despite what your calling is, despite what your gifts are, is love without conditions, which is unconditional love. But when we are very judgmental, when we are one-track mindset, we are not focused on the overall goal, and we start focusing on just it's like when there's a time to be selfish, there's a time to be in solitude, there's a time to, you know, stay down till you come up. Okay, there is a time and a place for everything. But at the same time, when you start, how do I say this, I just hear judging the collective, but I'm trying to say it in a different way in how I see the vision. It's like where there could be a lot of healing, there's a lot of heartbreak. Where there could be a lot of growth, there's a lot of destruction simply due to judgment. So you're starting with 2 in reverse and you're starting with 2 upright. In order to shift this energy to enlightenment and focus upright, there needs to be more openness when it comes to specifically what abundance looks like to you. Because a lot of you, I mean, you're fire, but a lot of you attach abundance to money when it's just so much more than that. It's just like it cannot be capped. It truly cannot be capped. Nature shows you that abundance cannot be capped, but yet people try to cap it. People try to control it. Even when it comes to fucking procreation of life, people try to cap it. People try to fucking control it. But nature evolves on its own. So when it comes to just the energy of involvement is connected to enlightenment. And evolvement is connected to focus. And the way it's connected to focus, right? So a lot of times it's pain that keeps us stagnant, okay? And pain comes in a multitude of forms, okay? And some people have pain in certain areas where other people don't. To each its own, but that's not the point. The point is a lot of stagnation comes from pain. And with that, for you, you judge based on the pain that you've experienced or the neglect that you've experienced or the lack of experience that you've experienced. Whatever it is, it just feels like judgment, and it's affecting your abundance. It's creating a domino effect of you're getting off track. Like they're just showing me a train and how a train has a track to ride on, but it keeps wobbling off of the tracks. And this is not contributed to a heavy storm or heavy winds or anything like that. Hold on. We're almost done. It's my mom. I'll call her back. But yeah, we're not contributing to any of that energy. It's you're choosing how it flows. You're choosing the flow of the energy. And it's like the more that you judge the flow of whatever the fuck is happening, either with you or people around you, whatever the case may be, you're creating that turbulence on the track, when we could just flow and just the enlightenment can happen. And it's like focus on the enlightenment and the crown chakra awakening that spirit is trying to pour into you so that you can truly receive versus reject. Does that make sense? Because it really is all love at the end of the day. But when it comes to what is that? What is love to you? And it's like love to you is when I don't know. It's just a lot of y'all very conditional. Okay, collectively, the collective is very conditional. And that's a representation of what it looks like when we separate from people. When we separate from people, do you drag? Do you judge? How do you act? Because a lot of times those same fucking people we would have took a bullet for, we would have fought for, we would have went to hell and back for, you know? So just reflect on how you move when it comes to disconnect. And that will tell you the current path that you're on and what needs to shift. But it's up to you to make the shift. Okay? All right. Anything else for fire signs before I get out of here and move to who's next? Earth. Yeah, Earth. Giving and receiving. Anything else? No. But feeling alone is in reverse. With where we started, sadness and motherfucking isolation upright. This 3 energy we started with. And then underneath it is joy and stability in reverse. So baby, to shift this energy of, it could be depression. It could be, you could not understand the root. The root is you need to connect. You need human connection. And Virgo season, honey, it doesn't have to be, I know it's about to be autumn, it's about to be cuffing season and shit. I'm not talking about that. Okay, you need real genuine love without judgment, all of you. But in order to embrace that, you got to give that. Give it to receive it. Okay, you got to give respect to get respect, you know? And that's what I have. Right, but I'm outside right now. Are you outside? So the forceful energy, right? You know how you gotta give yourself a pep talk? Okay, don't be so forceful with it, you know? It's like, think about the first day of school, right? The first day of school for yourself, okay, whether you remember it or not, right? But just think about, you know, that first day of pre-K or kindergarten, depending on which one the child starts at, all right? Like that separation anxiety, you know, it's a new experience, okay, baby? The mama and the baby both feel some type of way. But it's the energy of encouragement that, and the energy of encouragement is truly speaking the energy of life into yourself and into others. And, you know, nature will heal you. But if you're forcing yourself to go outside to an energy that you are already naturally by spirit connected to, it's like, what did nature do to you for you to not want to spend time in it or with it, you know? But you know, we love to hug a tree for uplifted energy. That's, we gotta watch that, you know? I love y'all. Take care. I see earth signs in a minute. Bye. I'm about to post the time, and it's 1:11. New beginning energy. It's 1:11. I'm about to post timestamps. Okay, toodles.